why the doctors don't know a lot about fasting. Number one, they won't earn a lot from it, and it's not taught in medical school.
If you really cherish your body, would you eat junk food? Papasok mo ba yung angin sa katawan? A mindset change is also critical. Kasi we are just eating for the sake of eating.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day is a complete lie.
Doctors need to be active in disease prevention and not in cure. Kasi prevention is better than cure eh.
We'll discuss about fasting today. But let's have a consensus first. No, we agree on something. We all want to live healthy and long. No, this is the first thing we need to establish. What is your goal to live up to?
I think I want to live up to at least seeing my grandchildren in elementary or high school.
Yes, of course. Ako rin, I want to see my nephews and nieces who will diba, eventually have kids and become successful individuals. So that's why we will be talking about fasting today. It's one of the most interesting yet controversial topics in the world right now. Kasi in the Philippines, hindi natin masyadong dinidiscuss to eh. We are focused on eating food. Our culture is about eating. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and merienda. In school, at work, at home. Constant eating. Kahapon nga, nag-chiches kami ni Papa. I didn't eat, pero there are a lot of nuts in front of him. Banana. And he is always eating while we're playing. So, every time, ngumunguya siya. I was just thinking, it is really part of the culture. That's why, although we're very happy that they are still healthy and we want them to live longer, but as early as our age right now, 40 na ako, 40 plus, ikaw late 30s, it's good to start now. Practice it. You don't need to immediately push yourself to eating super long, not eating super long hours, but just start with 12 hours at least.
I think 12 hours is super doable, 12 hours. Because that's in between your dinner and your wake up time. 12 hours.
But for our syempre, pero for a lot for a lot of people, it's hard. 8 hours, 8 hours nga nahihirapan, Ram eh. 8 hours of not eating. Kasi kasi before ako nag-fasting, I eat until 10, 11 eating chips before I sleep. Maybe 1 hour before I sleep.
Maybe because of your lifestyle, like watching Netflix before sleeping. So when we
Yes.
are watching, we want to eat something salty, then we crave something sweet, then salty again, then the cycle never stops. Then we forgot to drink water.
Were you able to remove it already? Were you able to try it?
Yes, I'm
Removing the
trying
snacking part.
16 hours. 16 hours, but it's not yet consistent. Pero it's within the 12 to 16 hour time frame. So, minsan
Nice kasi
napupush ko siya ng 18 pero hindi pa siya ganun ka-steady. I want it to be steady at 16 first. So, may 8 hours
actually
period.
that is very good for a beginner, Ram. Because it takes 2 to 4 weeks to adjust to a fasting lifestyle. According to Dr. Matson, the author of the what you call this book, Intermittent Fasting Revolution, sabi niya, when you're starting to fast, you get irritable during the first few days because you need to adjust. If you're always eating 3 times a day plus snacks, and then suddenly you don't eat for 12 to 16 hours, you will feel you won't feel well. That is actually the reality. Yun din yung na-feel ko eh. Pero did you feel something na parang made you irritated when you started fasting? Like hungry.
During the experience of fasting, no, I think it's the other way around. When I eat more,
Mm,
the more I get conscious because I'm trying to lose weight through lifting, gym, and treadmill.
mm.
So when I do treadmill about an hour, now I'm doing an hour, then inclined pa. So I'm recalling all of my food intake when I'm doing treadmill. So in my conscious mind when I eat I remember all my treadmill stuff.
Parang sinasayang mo, parang gano'n, no? Pag
Mm.
kumain ka. That's good. That's a good motivation. Actually, fasting is the most important thing you can do for your health. No, it is more important than you eat, and it's more important than exercise. Bakit? No? There is a study by Wayne Drutch and Sohal. Ito, reducing food availability over a lifetime, caloric restriction, has remarkable effects on aging and lifespan of animals and humans. So, bakit? No, we will go to evolution. Dati naman Ram, we don't have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Eh. Our ancestors, hunters and gatherers, go out of their caves, not eating food that is available in front of them. They need still to hunt and walk miles before they can eat. Eh ngayon, always available. Eh. We have a ref, we have pantries. So our modern society prevented us from basically being healthy or having a fasting lifestyle. You really need to have self-control to be able to practice it. Study.
Yeah.
Now, breakfast, that breakfast is the most important meal of the day is a complete lie. Now, made up by the big food and pharmaceutical industry. Alam mo kung bakit? I read something and I watched some videos of experts. Sabi, the body releases stored sugar in the morning in preparation for our activity. So that means we're not really hungry. It's just habit that we eat breakfast. And the reason why we are eating breakfast is because of the constant marketing of the food industry. They need to sell the products eh. 'Di ba? Meron kayong mga cereals sa bahay, 'di ba? We have these um what do you call this processed food like hot dogs, sausages, 'di ba?
Casino.
That are meant to tocino that are meant to be eaten in the morning. So how will they sell this unless you eat it during the morning? Although breakfast comes from the word break and fast. Breakfast doesn't mean to be in the morning. Breakfast can even be at night or even late in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Diba? You break your fast. You can eat all of those things.
Correct. But yeah, in the scheme of things, no, why did they introduce breakfast is because uh, of business of money. Because if we only eat lunch or and dinner, that consists of only 2/3 of their market. If they introduce breakfast, their profits will increase by 50%. By that logic only,
Their profits will decrease, yeah.
increase. Yeah, decrease if we won't eat breakfast. Profits will decrease by 50%.
Yes, yes. That's why they they're fighting against fasting. Diba? Fasting when people discover how easy fasting is, they will skip breakfast definitely. Or for a lot of people who love breakfast, they will skip
Dinner.
maybe dinner time. Pero mahirap ang dinner skip eh. Sa experience mo, what is better to skip? Breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast. Because uh we are already on the way to the office. So
Mm,
to instead of eating, I spend the time to sleep or to prolong my rest.
same strategy. When I was starting to fast, when I'm hungry, when I feel like my stomach is crumbling, I sleep. Kasi the time that you spend in eating, you can spend it in sleeping. You thought about that?
Mm.
Naisip mo yon na parang, ang ginawa ko no, nung when I was trying to skip lunch, like 12, hindi ako kumakain. I sleep 12 to 1 or 12 to 2. Kasi usually yun din naman yung time ng eating, 'di ba? When
Mm.
you're having a break sa work, how many hours yung break mo sa work during lunch?
1 hour. 1 hour.
12 to 1, yes. You
Yeah.
can use that for resting
11
or
to
sleeping
2.
or just drinking.
In the office setup kasi, we use also the lunch break as socialization. So it's also difficult to skip lunch to exchange it with the rest.
Isa sa mga questions before isn't fasting like starving? No, basically, 'di ba? Parang ginugutom mo yung sarili mo. Actually, starvation and fasting are completely different. Basically on one thing, no? Control. Starvation is caused by the external environment. When there's famine, when there's war, there's no food available. Wala kang choice but not to eat kasi wala kang nga makuha eh. But fasting is different. That in a way that it is within your control, food is available but you choose not to eat. Fasting is really mimicking, no? Ginagaya natin yung mga ancestors natin before. Kasi ang pinaka-normal pala that span hundreds of thousands of years is feast and famine. No, we hunt, we eat what we hunt and gathered, and then we fast again, and then we hunt. Hindi tayo kumakain ng breakfast, lunch, and dinner with snacks. And that is for more than hundreds of thousands of years. Sabi nga dito sa isang study, constant comfort is a radically new thing for us humans. The convenience caused by the modern world is just about 100 years or less, or just 0.03% of the time we've walked the earth. Tingnan natin, no? 100 years or less, or just 0.03% of the time we've walked the earth. Overabundance is a constant threat. Kasi before naman talaga, before the agricultural era, we always walk and hunt for food. We always exercise. Ngayon, we just mimic that kind of lifestyle through the gym. Kaya tayo nag-gym eh.
Our behavior also affects the technology, no? Because nowadays internet is here. Everyone is on social media, YouTube. They're not moving enough. Like
Yes.
days. Before we are playing outside our houses. Eh. Now it's just an iPad or a laptop or a phone. So that's the basic difference between this day's generation and our generation.
Totoo yan. I remembered when I was a kid. Lagi nasa labas ako, alam mo yan, 'di ba? Nagba-basketball. Kaya nga umitim ako eh kasi always under the sun.
Mm.
We always play outside. Wala pang computer noon. Our first computer, a second-hand computer, binili ni Papa when we were high school. I was high school, grade school lang kayo noon eh.
Mr. Goo.
Yes,
Well,
Mr. Gu. Mm-mm.
Mr. Goo.
Marami mga games na luma na. Before, we're always playing outside. Ngayon, everyone is stuck to their rooms and playing video games maybe, and watching and posting in social media, reading, just sitting around. And one thing I want to share also in our notes is a normal body has 100,000 calories. Can you just imagine that a normal body has 100,000 calories that it can use even when you're not eating? No? So when you're not eating, you are burning those calories. You are eating when you are not eating. Your body is just living off your fat. So kinakain niya. So if you have excess fat, don't worry, because the body metabolically switches. The fuel of your body metabolically switches from glucose or sugar to fat. And yung fat na yon, 'di ba? Nabasa mo yung ketones, produces ketones. And ketones are the preferred fuel of the body and brain. It's fascinating. That's why ako ngayon, today, we are in a 24-hour fast. Hindi pa ako kumakain. Yung last kain ko kahapon sa Pampanga, sa Carinderia, So, we finished 4 p.m. Now, what time? Anong oras na ngayon? It's 2:47 p.m. So, I will eat around 4 p.m. after this. But I don't feel bad. I feel really good, alert, and everything. I can think clearly. I can study. I can play chess. That's because I'm already fat adapted. I've been doing this for more than a year. You feel good when you are in a fasted state when you tried it?
Yes. May ano rin siya na usually kasi no, pag busog ka, pagkagising mo, medyo mabigat ang katawan.
Sluggish.
Sluggish siya. Then, kakain ka pa ng breakfast. Sluggish yung
Mm.
katawan mo, then kakain ka pa ulit. So, yun. That's why I also gained a lot of weight. Ang max weight ko ata is 100 kilos.
Mm-hmm.
220 pounds. And never did I imagine na aabot ako doon.
Pero, do you monitor your weight now?
Yes, now naglalaro siya 94, 95 kilos. So, I lost 10 pounds or 5 kilos na.
Nice. Nice. Great progress. I want to share this expost. Sabi ni Dr. Berg. Dr. Berg is one of the doctors I follow in YouTube. He is actually very active right now because of the change of the administration and the new Health and Human Resources Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has, freed them to speak up. So now they're talking about fasting all the time on X and other things that they cannot say before this Trump administration. So one of the things he said is fasting isn't just about weight loss. That is actually just one of the major positive side effects of fasting. It's about unleashing your body's potential to repair and restore to create more health. Let's talk about the benefits of fasting. The benefits of fasting, weight loss, definitely number one yan. Yan naman talaga gusto natin eh. What is your main motivation for fasting, Ram?
Healthier me and
Mm.
longevity.
Oo nga, yun nga yung na-discover ko rin through the studies. Well, weight loss is just really a positive side effect. Another one is the increased brain hormone called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factors, helps in improving learning, adaptation, and memory. It is the miracle growth for the brain. That's just one. Human growth hormone. It's so amazing kasi you don't eat, but you increase your human growth hormone, which develops your muscles. And it protects your muscles from being affected by not eating. Sabi kasi dito, it preserves and grows the muscles. Kasi ang may priority sa burning of fuel in the body. First is glucose, sugar, and then ketones through the fats. And then after na deplete yun, dun pa lang magkakaroon ng muscle depletion or muscle reduction for energy. Pero considering that a normal body has 100,000 calories, malabong makuha yung muscles mo, especially if you are more than their normal body weight. So if you're a bit bigger or fatter than the normal body weight, you cannot worry about your muscle loss. Kukunin lang yung fats mo. And then again, fats or ketones are the preferred fuel of the body and brain. Then another health benefit is autophagy. Itong autophagy na to, Rab.
I think it's the recycling
No?
of damaged proteins and
Yes.
building new ones.
So, nung nalaman ko tong autophagy na to, I was amazed. Sabi ko, grabe pala, no? Parang how amazing the body works. When you don't eat, autophagy is triggered, which basically recycles damaged and old proteins and makes new ones for our organs. So parang you just allowed your body to fix itself. There is this recycling mechanism. It's called the garbage disposal of cells. So parang nililinis niya yung cells mo because you allowed it by not eating, and then repairs those old cells, recycles them, and makes new ones for your organs. It also creates stem cells. Diba? Sabi dito, if you fast long enough, it can stimulate your stem cells. Stem cells are those young cells that can be used by our tissues and organs. And sabi nila, you can trigger the stimulation of stem cells after 72 hours of fasting, 3 days. So medyo mahaba. Kasi if you will look at the medical industry now, nag-offer sila ng stem cell therapy. You don't even need to spend a lot for that stem cells therapy. You just need to practice fasting.
Yeah, but what is the recommended frequency of the 72 hours of fasting?
I think once a year is okay.
Once.
Siguro Ram, we want to try it during the Lenten season. 'Di ba? Parang wala masyadong gagawin, lalabas ng bahay. Kami nga ni Kat, we are thinking about doing that 3-day fast. It's difficult on a regular day. You need to be isolated. Food. Isip nga namin if we know about this during the pandemic kasi lagi ka lang nasa bahay, we could have practiced this one. 'Di ba? Makakatipid ka pa.
Ang nangyari, kabaligtaran kasi wala kang ginagawa, you eat and eat during the pandemic. Actually, baka yun din yung nag-trigger ng pagiging overweight of majority of us. Kasi during the pandemic, what else is there to do aside from watching Netflix? We just eat because we cannot go to the mall, we cannot go to the gym, we cannot go to the parks.
Yes, we become bored, diba? And to satisfy that boredom, we eat. That's why it's also good to have hobbies, Ram, outside of eating. Ang nangyari kasi sa atin, sa culture natin, a lot of people made eating as a hobby. Eating shouldn't be a hobby. It will get you really sick, diba? Every time, just to fill up the time, you get something in the pantry or in the ref to eat something. One thing that is fascinating about the fasting lifestyle is it triggers hormesis. Now, hormesis refers to adaptive responses of biological systems to moderate environmental or self-imposed stress. So when you put a bit of stress in the body, just like exercise, the body adaptively responds to it. In the case of fasting, yung autophagy nga, check mo hormesis. When hormesis is triggered, autophagy is triggered. So that is when the recycling of damaged cells occur, and then that is when antioxidants are released from our cells. Kaya pala tayo tumatanda, Ram, because we eat a lot. Bakit? Kasi pala, when you eat a lot, pag kumakain ka ng marami, when our body processes food, it releases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress, parang kinakalawang yung cells mo. So every time you eat, nagre-release ng parang oxidative stress yung body. And then nasisira kaunti-unti yung cells. So that is why you need to stop eating in order for your cells to be repaired from that oxidative stress. Does it make sense?
For example, we are eating, then in our body, the food we take is foreign to the body. So, ang ginagawa ng katawan natin is parang inaapula din niya yung, for example, it's a foreign thing So, bago rin siya. So they're trying to process it. So, it's part of the wear and tear of the body. Parang ganun. Yun yung parang nakikita ko.
Yes, one of the doctors that I follow, Dr. Fong, sabi niya by analogy, it's like revving up a car. So initially, when the car is new, you want to use it so that it won't, it won't be like damaged immediately. Kaya kailangan mo ni-start yung car, di ba? And then you're revving up the engine. But as time passes, revving up the engine doesn't work for the longevity of the car. You need to repair and maintain it. Diba? Analogy to our body, no, we can focus on growth during the early stages of our life. Sabi mo nga, last time tinanong mo hanggang kailan ka dapat mag-start ng fasting. I think maybe 25 years old, diba? You can start practicing intermittent fasting already. But from the early adulthood or parang yung mga children up to teenage years, dapat they're focused on growth first. But when you become an adult, you need to practice intermittent fasting already for longevity and health. Eh, ganun talaga eh. It's just like, sabi nga, you need to focus on turning off the hormones insulin and mTOR. May sinasabi sila na mTOR that you trigger when you eat protein. When you eat carbohydrates, insulin ang natitrigger mo. When you eat proteins, mTOR ang natitrigger mo. And that is focused on the synthesis of proteins in the body. And that contributes to aging. So when you're not eating, you turn off those two hormones. And when you turn off those two hormones, autophagy is turned on. And autophagy is the recycling process of the body. And when you recycle, when you trigger that recycling process, when the damaged proteins and damaged cells are renewed or fixed because of autophagy, then health and longevity is promoted. Diba? Amazing. No, I want to share a video.
6-hour fast.
Yeah, what made you decide to do that? How did that
I
come
saw
about?
this thing online with this doctor from Boston. He was saying, and there's clinical studies. They've done studies on this thing. They've done it on animals and humans. If you do this water fast for 7 days, basically when you put your body through adversity, right? Different types of adversity, like cold plunging, for instance. You stay in there for 3 minutes at 50 degrees. Your body thinks you're dying, and your
Yeah.
liver releases that shock protein,
Mhm.
right? Which is really good for you. When you do this water fast, your body starts fighting to try to stay alive when you do stuff like this to it. So apparently it sheds all the bad dead cells and regenerates all these new cells
Damn,
to fight starvation or whatever the body thinks is happening. How does that not make sense?
it's crazy.
It's fucking awesome, man, is what it is. And there's over a 70% chance that when you do this, you don't get Alzheimer's disease or fucking cancer and a bunch of other nasty shit. So I talked to Gary Brecka. I run everything by this guy. So Brecka said it's absolutely true. It absolutely works, but you don't have to do 7 full days. Do 72 hours and told me all these things to do. I'm telling you, I felt incredible, man. I felt
While you were
like
doing it, you felt incredible?
yeah. And
Wow.
I worked all day, every day like I do, and worked out every day like I do.
Really?
Yeah, my last day of the fucking, I could have gone longer. I could have done fucking 7 days. I felt so good.
Okay, so what were the urges like to
You
fight
don't get
to
hungry
eat,
at
though?
all?
So the urges are this: when you start getting into like 48 hours, 50 hours, you're not hungry,
Okay.
but you're thinking about fucking food. When you think about our life, everywhere we look and everything we do, turn on the TV and try to watch a fucking football game. It's fucking pizza and fast food restaurants and all this fucking shit that's just beating you over the head subliminally. And then you start walking around your house and you look at the shit that you got in your house and you're not hungry. You're bored and you're walking around snacking and
Right.
So I love doing stuff that tests your will like that. I love it. So Gary tells me to do it twice a year. I'm going to do it twice a year. Fucking everybody's doing it. Everybody here at UFC is doing it. Skip did it first. You saw how ripped Skip got after 3 days. It rips you to fucking shreds.
So do you
Which is great, but really what the benefit is internally. You know what I mean? But I say this all the time. It's like with the blood work with Gary. When everything's right inside, everything looks good on the outside too.
82 hours water fast. So
Oh, you don't need to do that immediately. I think you can do that once a year or once every 2 years. Once a year. Once a year. You tried it in solitude. Pero yun nga Ram, ang tanong ko, what are the challenges especially when you have a family regarding fasting?
yeah.
Parang it's more difficult for a father with 3 kids to fast.
Oo, kasi minsan for example, hindi pa 12 o'clock pero syempre nagtawag na. Then tatawagan ka ng kid mo na eat time. So you are compelled to eat, right? So it is what it is. So ano na lang the next day na lang ulit. Kasi hindi naman laging kasama ko sila to eat kasi I'm working at an office and during weekends pag naka-ready na yung food, tinatawag na talaga nila ako. Ang adjustment na lang is the night before I see to it na early dinner para at least kung mag-early lunch man ako the next day. Ano rin siya. Ma-compensate yung hours.
Pero Ram, have you observed children? Kasi lagi ko nakikita, sometimes it's hard for them to eat because they're not hungry. Kasi tayo kasi as adults, we have time to eat. But when we ask our children to eat, they don't want to eat. And sobrang bagal nila kumain. I observed that with, sa mga pamangkin, na parang ang tagal nila kumain, like 2 hours. I was thinking, is it because their body says they're not hungry? And when they are hungry, doon pa lang sila kakain. Despite the time.
Yeah. I think their biological clock, yes. I think that their biological clock is intact and yun ang sinusunod nila, no? The other thing is they are distracted by technology, phone, iPad, playing. So the playing takes priority before eating. So I think marami ring factors, pero as kids tingin ko as long as they are not
But they don't
overweight,
feel hungry.
as long as they are not overweight or obese, they should eat kasi
Mm.
they need
Growing.
all the nutrients and vitamins and minerals for them to develop as well.
The thing that I observe with kids is correct. They follow their biological clock, which means it doesn't mean it's 12 o'clock. That's it. They need to eat. No, they always dun mo makikita na parang that is how we are composed as humans. Those are genes eh. If you're hungry, there's this hormone called ghrelin will tell you to eat. Pero if you will observe nga, the children, they don't follow the modern time of eating, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For your kids, they eat breakfast.
Usually, pag weekends, brunch na rin eh. Going to lunch na kasi late din kami magising pag weekend.
I want to share these fasting practices from history. No, this one is, that's why it's good to introduce this again to our culture. So one of the important figures of of history is Hippocrates, the founder of modern medicine, said that to eat when you are sick is to fuel your sickness. Hippocrates, siya yung Greek physician and the founder of modern medicine, and siya rin yung gumawa ng Hippocratic Oath of Doctors. Can you just imagine? Sinabi niya yon. To eat when you are sick is to fuel your sickness. And Imhotep, 2600 BCE, he said that the empty stomach receives healing medicine. The full one rejects it. Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Hippocrates all recommended fasting for higher state of awareness. Benjamin Franklin said that the best of all medicines is resting and fasting. Mark Twain wrote, "A little starvation can really do more for the average sick man than the best medicines and the best doctors." I mean, total abstention from food for 1 or 2 days. Na-feel mo ba when for example, sinisipon ka or nilalagnat? Our culture, diba, our family, sinasabi nila, kain ka kahit konti lang. Pero we don't feel eating. Naalala mo yun?
Wala kang appetite eh.
Wala kang appetite, exactly.
Zero appetite. So that's one way of our body telling us na don't eat. Pero
Yes.
pero the doctors are telling us to eat before we drink the medicine. So medyo may disconnect din. We cannot know for sure, no? Unless we have a physician here na pwede rin nating matanong kung ano yung logic behind eating before.
Yes, but the thing is, the doctors don't know. It doesn't mean that they know how to, heal a lot of our injuries, help or treat some of our diseases. Doesn't mean they know a lot more about the body, because later we will discuss why the doctors don't know a lot about fasting. Number one, they won't earn a lot from it, and it's not taught in medical school. But they themselves don't actually fast, no. So nakita mo, sabi nila, you need to eat before drinking medicine. So the premise is you need to drink medicine, but fasting says that you need to allow your body, your physician within your cells to repair itself and to heal you. So nakita mo, yung doctor will say you need to eat to drink your medicine. But fasting as a healing process doesn't let you eat for you to be healed from your sickness. So ganun ang problema. Talagang kailangan mong kumain if you need to drink medicine. But you don't need to drink medicine when you are fasting.
One thing din, no, pag nilalagnat kasi ako, I am allergic to Biogesic and paracetamol and ibuprofen. So, ang common practice ko lang is resting and water. So, yeah, that's it. And after a good rest, I'm okay na rin. So
Totoo yan.
I really don't need a paracetamol. Ano lang, kailangan lang magpahinga and water intake.
Yes, ako rin eh. Kasi when I drink medicine, kunyari sinisipon ako and I drink Biogesic or Claritin, I feel really bad after. No, inaantok ako, my mind is not alert. And then 1 or 2 days, I don't feel really good. So during that time, I applied fasting and it made healing faster. Fasting meaning not eating, just drinking water and sleeping. That's it. Kaya nga tama si Hippocrates eh. When you eat when you're sick, it fuels your sickness. You need to abstain really from food and you need to allow the body to fix itself. Because again, we discussed kanina, we mentioned about autophagy. Autophagy recycles old damaged cells and pathogens. Pathogens meaning the viruses, bacteria, and parasites in our body. Kinakain din niya yon. Autophagy recycles them and after digestion, they become, useful proteins that can be used by our tissues and organs. That's according to the study, and I believe it because I've been practicing fasting for the past year. Ito nga, meron pang isa, Ram eh. That's why for example, when meron tayong LBM, diba, we don't feel eating because our digestive system tells us that we need to remove the toxins first. We need to reset our gut. So you cannot just eat food because it will worsen the situation. Ganun ang ginagawa rin ng fasting. Another important thing that fasting makes is because of autophagy, it makes our cells clean. Yung nabasa kong doctor, si Dr. Matson said that our cells become molecularly pristine. In other words, malinis after fasting kasi nagkaroon na ng autophagy. So it has cleaned all the dead cells, inalis na niya yung damaged cells. Now you have a whole new, parang stronger and clean cells. That's why when we are eating, when we refeed after fasting, we need to eat the nutritious foods. So we need to back it up with whole nutritious foods and not processed foods. So pag minsan, ang problema kasi after fasting is we want to eat a lot of food. That is a bad idea. Before nagkamali ako nun, I ate junk food. After fasting, it didn't feel good. Mas okay talaga when you break your fast, you eat nutritious foods like nuts, eggs, and other proteins. You do not overeat. Gradually introduce portions like nuts, fruits, and vegetables. Dr. Berg said that it is not about eating less, it is about eating right. Yun lang, iwas sa processed foods.
I think a change in mindset, like eating not for the sake of eating. It's eating for the sake of your body. For example, if you really cherish your body, would you eat junk food? Papasok mo ba yung pangit sa katawan? A mindset change is also critical. Kasi we are just eating for the sake of eating. I think, lang yan lunch na, we need to eat. Dinner na, we need to eat. Then we're not really conscious about what we eat. It's just that in our minds, we need to eat whatever.
Yes, kasi it has become part of our culture. Kaya it's not easy to shift to a fasting lifestyle, but it's very doable. You need to start. And balik tayo kanina dun sa pinag-usapan natin bakit hindi pinopromote ng medical industry yung fasting. So let's see this clip from an X post by by a medical professional, Callie Means, and Dr. Offit. They have an exchange kasi in CNN.
Talked about childhood vaccines, number one. He talked about electromagnetic radiation, number two. He talked about pesticides. He didn't talk about the things that Callie's talking about here, which is things like obesity or over-medicating children or sugar drinks. I'm all for that. I agree with that. But you can have both.
Gave a powerful speech about these issues. This is what Bobby Kenny's fighting against, Dr. Opp. As you know, you were the chair at the Children's Hospital, the Merck chair. It was like a NASCAR driver wearing their sponsors. Merck paid your $1.5 million salary. And this is what Bobby's saying, is that fundamentally, pharma can create good innovations, but they're foundationally incentivized for children to be sick. Pharma doesn't make money when children are healthy. The hospitals don't make money when the beds are empty. Chronic disease, just as a demonstrable statement of economic fact, is a great economic invention for the healthcare industry, which demonstrably makes money when patients are sick. And that's an incentive Bobby Kennedy is going hard after. I'm in Florida. I'm in a state senator's office right now. I'm actually lobbying for these state SNAP bills, which Bobby is really supporting, to get soda off of SNAP. I think the problem is that the public health community, the Merck shares of pediatricians, I mean, that is just insane. Merck does not have children's interests at heart. Merck itself has settled billions of dollars in criminal penalties for misleading and falsifying data in the past 10 years.
And by the way, I should, for transparency, you used to be a pharmaceutical rep, right, Callie?
No. I was about 13 years ago was a lobbyist, which included.
So
the
you
food
were a
and pharma
lobbyist
industry,
for
and my wife is
pharmaceuticals.
dedicated to
Okay.
calling that out.
Right. But really quick, we do have to go. But Dr. Offit, I have to have you respond to his claims about Merck and your tie.
This is being discussed in America right now. That is one of the reasons why fasting is not promoted, because of the conflict of interest. Pharmaceutical industries do not earn from healthy people, and fasting is free, and fasting will make you healthy, because the food reduction will really just allow your physician within to heal you. The physician within is autophagy and ketones, the fats, the fuel that is preferred by the body and brain. So that's one thing. What do you think about that video?
I think it is really about pushing us to eat more, not because they want us to be sick immediately, but in the long run, we will get sick. What's the incentive of us being healthy? There's zero incentive for pharma companies, for hospitals, and for the food industry for us to be conscious about fasting.
You said before, Ram, you always need to follow the incentives and follow the money. So how do you think we can make the medical professionals, the medical industry, earn from people being healthy? Do you have an idea?
How can they benefit from us being healthy?
Or profit, di ba? That's the question. Kasi they don't earn, sabi nila, it's hard for them to earn from people who are healthy.
I think from reactive medicine, we should have we should promote proactive measures. So if we need guidance from a health professional on how to do fasting properly, I think they can also earn from it.
Yes.
Kung
Just like consultants.
As consultants. Kasi sino bang papakinggan, di ba? Still the doctors, like reading journals for fasting. It's still the doctors that are considered experts.
Authority. Yeah, that's why they have to use their power to promote health.
So from reactive to proactive medicine and natural medicine. So they won't earn from healing you, but they will earn from preventing you from getting sick.
I agree. And I think it will be lucrative for them because there is still an adjustment in culture. You need to guide the people to have a lifestyle change, to implement a lifestyle change. It's lifestyle medicine.
Usually, di ba, mag-enroll ka sa gym, they will ask you, what is your target weight? So, yun, compute. Ano ba yung BMR mo, base metabolic rate, are you sedentary? Then, makikita mo na dun na ang solution for you to become healthy is caloric deficit. Kung overweight ka. If you want to try gaining weight, so yun, compute din. And yun, ganun din. Through scientific measures pa rin siya. Meron pa rin computation and such. So yun, I think our doctors need to be proactive in disease prevention and not in cure. Kasi prevention is better than cure eh.
Yeah, I agree. And also they should promote mainstream education about lifestyle medicine. Because I think our doctors and physicians are trained to prescribe medicine instead of prevent diseases. Yun yung nangyayari. No, in medical school, for a lot of doctors, sabi nila Dr. Matson and Dr. Berg, they are not taught to prevent diseases. It's more of curing and healing injuries and prescribing medicines. So basically, the medical school was captured already by the pharmaceutical industry because they need to promote their products. Another thing na I think kailangan din ng mga doctors is they need to trust that people can change their lifestyle kasi a lot of them are resigned to the fact that people cannot endure or do fasting. Nakikita natin yan sa family and friends eh. Parang paano kung hindi namin kaya yung fasting? Ito na lang, 'di ba? Doktor na lang or medicine na lang, maintenance medicine na lang. In the end, it's very important for doctors to encourage people to do fasting. Otherwise, gagastos ng gagastos
Yeah. I think
yung mga
challenge there,
patients.
if the doctor promotes fasting, he should fast himself, right?
Correct.
So kung hindi
They
rin
should
niya
practice.
gagawa, parang wala rin siyang K or right to promote it. So medyo rin tayo doon. Medyo may disconnect din if overweight or obese si doc and then he or she will promote fasting. Magmumukha siyang hypocrite.
Exactly. One of our uncles, inoperahan siya sa bato, no? I mean sa kidney, inalis yung bato. And his surgeon, yung nag-alis ng bato niya sa kidney, may bato rin sa kidney. May sakit din. So, how will you not rely? How will you trust really that a physician can give you the best health advice if he himself is not healthy? Diba? So the doctor should be able to practice healthy lifestyle so that they can lead their patients also to conduct healthy lifestyle. And there's an idea before we end our discussion, no? Kasi I want to show this video.
Negros Oriental, the entire people of Negros Oriental truly loves you, and let's work together for helping the province and the whole country. Thank you so much, Pres. Thank you, Prestere. I'm not going to take much of your time because you're all excited to hear what he has to say para kanatopanan. I would just like to say, Ishagitra na to.
So I'm just sharing that one because that is a government official. No, you see how big they are. He is just one of the government officials who look like that. Kung makikita mo yung mga trabahador ng gobyerno, ang lalaki nila, and their lifestyle in government offices is to constantly eat. And when they celebrate, there's a birthday, they eat and drink all the time. That's why I think one of the best way to discipline employees is to promote a fasting lifestyle in government offices and government employees. What do you think about that?
So, ako, skeptical. Kasi, I think it should have been promoted as a lifestyle and hindi siya, parang mahirap siya maging mandatory. Though nakikita ko rin yung yung sense of fasting para makita rin natin ng taong bayan na these people are not greedy, no? Kasi kung sa simpleng pagkain pa lang matakaw ka na, what more if sa funds na ng tao? So it's just a preview of what can be. Kung matakaw ka sa food, most likely matakaw ka sa pera. And madali kang makita sa pera.
You can be easily tempted. Kasi fasting is an exercise of self-control, Rame. So if you can resist food, we can hypothesize reasonably that you can resist abuse of power and corruption. Kasi nandyan napakadali to abuse your power if you are in a powerful position. And I think tama rin na parang in order to implement fasting in government, you need to focus on your circle first. If you are a government official and you are doing already fasting, you need to promote a fasting lifestyle in your government office. Dun muna. So you don't promote like merienda all the time. When you are in a meeting, you just serve water or tea instead of serving ensaymada or pizza. Promote that fasting lifestyle. In Google, for example, instead of having power breakfast, they are doing power fast. Instead of eating while they are having a meeting in the morning, they just drink tea and warm water or coffee without sugar. Pwedeng ganun gawin muna ng government. Makakatipid pa ang gobyerno natin. Because ang napansin ko, because I worked before in government as a consultant, every meeting, kung may 10 meeting ka sa isang araw, lahat yun may pagkain.
10 Starbucks.
10 Starbucks, pizza, and not only that, yung food na sinaserve are not healthy. Saibada, those are processed foods. So, my point is, like, government officials should be at least required to fast is just to test their emotional intelligence, is to increase the adversity quotients. No, you don't need to fast for 16 hours. Just try 12 hours fasting and promote a fasting lifestyle in your circle, no? In your circle of or group in your office. So fasting, because sabi nga kanina, I think we discussed, fasting contributes not only to health but spiritual growth due to shifts in awareness. It develops also the willpower of the spirit over flesh or worldly desires. So it's a good way to start to change the corrupt culture of the government by introducing fasting to government employees. We will discuss more about fasting, Ram. We will practice, what we will do is we will practice more of fasting for 1 or 2 months and then let's discuss the benefits again. For you, di ba, kasi nagsa-start ka pa lang, pag siguro let's have 1 or 2 months and let's have another discussion about fasting again. How are you feeling? What are the improvements in your body weight and health?